Hey everyone, this is Mr. K, and today we're going to go through the fourth part of the Precalculus summer homework, so simplifying polynomials. The important part is to remember FOIL or double distribute or check your smileys, as like many different teachers have called it. I'm a FOIL type of person, but just making sure you understand what that is, and please don't ever distribute exponents. So looking at the first one, FOIL stands for first, outside, inside, last, and so that's how we're going to actually multiply these terms together. So the first one I'm going to do, the first terms here are 2x and x, so when I multiply those together I get 2x squared. Now I'm going to take the outside terms, which would be 2x and 2, so when I multiply those together I get 4x. Now I'm going to take the inside terms here, and so this would be like a plus negative 3, or so think of this as negative 3 times x, which would be negative 3x. And then we're going to take our last terms here, which would be negative 3 times 2, which is negative 6. And so that's how you'd multiply those two polynomials together. And then you can combine like terms for the inside here. Whenever you're combining like terms, just think of whenever you're adding or subtracting, do not change the exponent. And so we're left with just 2x squared plus x minus 6 for our final answer. Where this mainly comes into play is here. Do not distribute that exponent. If you were to do that, you would get x squared plus 9, which is not the correct answer. Whenever you're squaring a number, you're always just multiplying it by itself. So if we rewrite it like that and then use FOIL, I do my first, which would be x squared, my outside, which is 3x, my inside, which is also 3x, and then my last, which is plus 9. And so when I combine those middle terms, I should get x squared plus 6x plus 9, which is the correct answer. And you notice how if you were to just distribute that exponent, you would not get this middle term, so that's just the important thing to see. Number 3 is pretty straightforward, just FOIL, just make sure you keep your letters straight. So 2x times x is 2x squared. Negative 2y times, x times 5y would be 5xy. On the inside here, we would do negative 2y times 2x. The way to do that is just think of multiplying the numbers and then doing the letters separately. So negative 2 times 2 is negative 4, and then just x times y, and that just kind of comes along for the ride. And then negative 2y times 5y would be negative 10y squared. And just like before, we can combine our middle terms. And so your final answer should be 2x squared plus, you could do 1xy or just write it as xy, either way works, and then minus 10y squared. For the last two here, the number 4 is pretty tricky. Whenever you're cubing something, you need to multiply it by itself 3 times. And so we're going to have to do a little bit more than just FOIL. So I'll skip a little bit of work here. So for this first one, when you FOIL it out, you should get 4x squared. It'd be minus 6, so minus 12x, and then plus 9. But we still need to multiply that by 2x minus 3 again. So if you count the terms, there's 1, 2, 3 terms for this first polynomial, and then 1, 2 terms for the second. So if I were to do 3 times 2, I would get 6. So when I FOIL or double distribute or whatever you want to call it, when I multiply these out, I should get 6 terms. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take the 4x squared and distribute that. And so I would get 8x cubed minus 12x squared. And now I'm going to distribute that negative 12x. And so if I do that, I will get negative 24x squared. And then negative 12x times negative 3 is plus 36x. And now we need to do the same thing with the 9, is distribute that. And so I should get 18x and then minus 27. And now we can combine anything that has the same exponent on x. It's like I combine the x squareds here. I could also combine the x's. And so your final answer should look like 8x cubed minus 36x squared plus 54x minus 27 as your final answer. And now for the last one, we're cubing this whole quantity here, so whenever you see multiple sets of parentheses, kind of work your way inside out. And so when I start with the 2x, there's nothing I can really do with that, but I'm multiplying that times 3 until I can rewrite this as 6x, and now that's going to be cubed. So now here's where, like, because there's no addition or subtraction sign in here, you can technically kind of think about distributing that. But just to be safe, I always like to rewrite it as like it being cubed, just so I can make sure I know what's going on. And so 6 times 6 times 6 would be 216. And then x times x times x would be x cubed. And so no other work is necessary for that one. I hope this video was helpful to you. Please comment if you have any questions. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day.